Um,
Hello, sir.
Yes, let's start. Well,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, যদি আগৰ পৰাই অলপ শিকাই দিয়া যায় তো ভাল হ'ব ক্লাছ। আমি এটেন্ড কৰা নাই মানে ন আগৰটো সেইকাৰণে।
Okay. আগৰ মানে সেই প্ৰথমখিনি ন ইন্ট্ৰডাকশ্যন।
Yes, sir. ফাৰ্ষ্ট ক্লাছৰ পৰাই অলপ
Okay.
ষ্টাৰ্টিঙৰ পৰাই যদি কৈ দিয়ে।
Okay. So let's start with the historical development of operation research. That is how it can become. Um, Actually, the application of mathematical models and business problem first attach the attentions of the Russian mathematics first introduced by N.V. Katrovich, who published at the monograph in mathematical methods. This is his journal actually at the time 1939. Actually, operation research introduced at the time. At the same time, first introduction in his journal name is Mathematical Methods in the Organization and Planning of Production. At the time, a monograph come regarding the introduction to operation research. And at the same moment, before that, in 1917, A.K. Ireland and Danish mathematician, he published his some research work on regarding telephonic traffic. Traffic means there is a call center is there. So in that call center, so many calls coming to the center. and some of them waiting time is there. Waiting time is there, uh, and this process actually called a queuing system. And 1917, H.A. Ireland introduced some portion of the statistics, queuing theory, regarding queuing theory. After that, before that, in 1915, F.W. Harris, he has introduced some model like an inventory model introduced. After that, 1930s come H.C. Levinson, American astronomer, who actually he uses some okay. He uses some inventory model and some LPP technique also introduced at the same time. So this is the somehow development of operation research, but it works in the year at the time of War Two, World War Two. So at the time, some military management in England, a team has constituted regarding this. So in that team is led by the Professor PMS Blackett from University of Manchester, and former naval officer also. He is a naval officer also. So he make a one group. This group actually consists of some psychologists, some mathematicians are there, physicists are there, astrophysicists are there. So accordingly, he uh, make a team to research the application and research the suppose at the time limited military resources are there. So various military operations at the time is organized activities are in operation. So how to make a good team with minimum resources? He introduced at the time uses this operation research. So this is the basic concept of the operation research. In 1940, 40, at the time also this Second World War time, this Britain like England, these are introducing our this terminology, operation research terminology with the minimum resources. Now after post World War come and it found that operation research is a uh, important tool, how to be important tool to managing the thing because of our minimum resource, how they got the maximum output. So accordingly, this come to the our scenario. And 1950, around the 1950, some universities introduced, not all Indian universities, some universities have introduced operation research as their important subject, and they are publishing different journals regarding this. Like journals are regarding operation research, OPSARS, operational research quarterly, management sciences, transportation sciences, mathematics of operation research, international journal of game theory, decision sciences. This is the different reputed journal are introduced at the same time. So in India now, in the context of India introduced our operation research unit in 1949 by the regional research laboratory. Regional research laboratory first introduced regional in Hyderabad. They are first introduced our operation research tool, and at the same time, our Indian Defense Science Laboratory, they are introducing same thing, operation research technique. And at the time, in regarding the period of this period, 1953, Indian Statistical Institute in Kolkata, it is actually Kolkata, and for first the director of the ISI, our respected PC Mahananobi sir, he introduced this operation research unit there. Uh, operation research unit there, and he introduced our 5 years planning. So before nowadays it's 1 year plan, but before I think 2012 regarding this 5 years plan works. So this 5 year plan actually introduced by PC Mahalanobis, and using this war technique, basically war technique, and introduced the various using the various models. This 5 years plan is going on. So after this is the first introduced by the PC Mahalanobis, and some at the time, 1960 around, there is a one important person research society was introduced 1957. But before that, it is actually journal. There is a 1957 is written, though this is first formed in 1953. It is started one journal regarding this observes, and some our reputed journal also introduced by our Indian, like industrial engineering and management materials, promoting the course of operation research, industrial engineering management, like this one, some important Journal of Indian Society Statistics and Operation Research, and Pure and Applied Mathematical Sciences (PAMS). These are different journals as introduced by our Indian this, introduced by Indians. So this is the first draft coming. This is PC Mahalanobis. He uses this war unit at the time in 5 year plans, and different draft plan. Maybe draft plan actually by taken by the government also. They are introducing our this taking the war as a important tool, and after slowly our Indian universities actually take this take operation research as one of the subject. And first in 1963, in MSc course is introduced in Delhi by the Delhi University, Operation Research. 1963, first Delhi University. After that, Indian Institute of Management in Kolkata and Ahmedabad. At just same time, they are introducing this word Operation Research in MBA courses. This is the actually main benefit. At the same time, now this subject is everywhere. Every MBA students, not only engineering students, statistical students, economic students, all mathematics students are just going for the this operation research subject, introducing the operation research subject, because there is a different model, and operation research actually deals with the basically optimization problem. Optimization problem means maximum minimum resources with the maximum output we have to take with different mathematical model. So this is the actually operation research. Some historical development we are introduced in this part. Now we are discussing on some definitions. What is the definitions? Is operation research. So some definitions are there, but before that, always remember, because when we go for the operation research, there must be three or four types of things are required. First, in that man required, then we required machine, then man and machine unit we required, and any organization of man machines. This is actually basic system actually required in operation research. So this is the definition. Some definitions are introduced. That is, operation research is a scientific approach to the problem solving for executive management. So it is a logical approach. Logical scientific means there is some logical approach with a minimum resources. We have to got the maximum output required. This is the one definition. There is another definition is given that operation research is the art of winning war. This is a definition. Definitions. So just I have given one book regarding this operation research by the by Dr. Hira. Also, I think you got download it. And this is the one definition, that is, operation research is a scientific knowledge through the interdisciplinary effort for the purpose of determining the best utilization of limited resources. This is the one by the Ichitaha, and his own book in their own book by Taha is also there. The, uh, these are the different definitions of the operation research. So before that, in before that. We should know the some characteristics of the operation research. What are the different characteristics actually required when we go for the operation research? So what are the characteristic that is it is system orientation operation research. In that basically uh, some problems are suppose there is one problems of regarding system and how to so optimize the error actually basically. In that case, this is one characteristics optimization problem. Another is we need the use of interdisciplinary team. That is when we go for the operation research, it is not only the platform of the management students. We need the engineering people, statistician, also mathematicians, also there, physics, also there, physics also there. So one interdisciplinary team actually work. This is the one characteristics. Then one another is that some scientific method that also application of scientific method. That is there is so many methods are there. Like I said, which are actually discussed on next classes. We are discussing this thing. When we classes continue, we are going to introduce the different models, scientific methods of operation research. Then we need the computer and some man machine problems also there. These are the different characteristics of the operation research we require. So these are the some mathematical programming or uh, operation research as a model. So at the time, these are the different models we are introducing. That is linear programming model, non-linear programming, dynamic programming, integer programming, geometric programming, multi-objective programming, quadratic programming, goal programming, stochastic programming. These are the different models we are introducing. So all of them actually we are not studied, but some of them we are very much interested in, like a linear programming model. We are interested. Some assignment methods are there. Some transportation model methods we are going to study in your syllabus. This is 22 actually models are there, but we are some of the models we are going to teach, like a queuing theory, simulation, goal programming, like that. Some of that optimization technique we are going to study, and you are just apply it when logical approach, that is with minimum resources, we have to need the maximum outcome. This is the different models we are introducing. Some models again we are these are the stochastic process models. That is stochastic means is randomness is highly random error is random error is we do not know. We know the outcome, but we do not know what actually happened. This is actually a stochastic process, like a queuing theory, reliability theory. We are introducing some statistical decision theory. We are studying at the time statistical uh, theory, renewal theory, simulation methods, and Markov process. That is queuing theory basically used in your banking system. Suppose bank is there, are so many server are there, and we make a queue. So there is how much average waiting time a person waited, how much how many servers are there, what is the idle period. Suppose this is actually all process actually is done by this queuing theory. Some reliability theory, that is when you go for the data and so many scaling technique is there. In that case, how your data is reliable, and these are the different processes we are going to study. And statistical models are there, like a correlation analysis, regression analysis. I think all of you just go for this. Uh, Last semester, I think you studied it: correlation analysis, regression analysis, cluster analysis, factor analysis, design of experiments. These are the different statistical models we are introducing in our this operation research problem. So these are the before that we are introducing that the phase of the operations. What are the different phase when we go for the for a operation research technique? What are the different phases are there? First, we have to take decision with the decision variables. Decision variables. This is a research part and planning and action part. So what happened in that case? First, we have to take decisions, and this is actually yeah, four parts are introduced in decision theory. This is one first part is four part is there. One first part is determination of operation. That is, what are the different courses of actions are there. Suppose man and machines, we are going to man and machines are there. So a particular operation, what are the different way to solve the problem? We first define this one with some decision variable, and accordingly we structure it. So first we have to determine our operations what to do. Next objective is determination of objective and associate with the operation. So in judgment phase, in that case, we have to go for the what are the different we have now different course of action, but we are considering some decision variables regarding different type of situations. Suppose manufacturing situation, engineering, technicals, and strategic, etc. These are the different situation involved. So we first determine our objective, and now in such a way that there is some impact on the economically, socially, like this one we some important, and we are first next we have to determine our objective. Now some determination of effective measures we have to third third part is our determination of effective measures. So in that case we have to what are the different measures or models are introduced to solving the problem. So we need the models, mathematical models in that case. So accordingly, we have to analyze the first we prepare the solution. After that, preparing the model, whether this model is perfect or not, we have to just logically define it. So this is we have introduced one model. After that, this is the fourth part. After that, we have to formulate the problem with considering the decision, problem, and our objective. So this is this is the fourth thing. After this finishing this decision, after formulation of our model in that part, our next task is that research phase. So, using this model, whatever mathematical model we are introducing, we need at the time actual data we need. So, in that case, we have to go for the observation method, and we have to go for the data collection. In that case, so data collection is done. Some questionnaire are there. Accordingly, you consider the decision variables. Accordingly, you prepare a one questionnaire. Accordingly, we just collect the data regarding this, and we using this data we just hello 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 hello.
So the screen is not visible.
Skin is not. What happened? Okay. So here actually we are introducing our research phase. So basically,
এটি দেখা পাইছো
okay. So in research phase, we have some decision variables are there, and after that we have to collect our data. We get some structured or unstructured questionnaire regarding as per your decision variables. After collection the data, we put this using this data for formulation some hypothesis and hypothesis. That is, hypothesis means some statement or assumptions we have introduced here. Assumptions means, suppose I came to the class and I just, without studying, I am giving one statement that average height of this class is 5.7 inch without studying. Now, this is the assumptions or hypothesis. Now we are going to test this thing, whether it is correct or not on the base of data. Suppose suppose I came to the class and I giving one statement that average height of this class is 5.7. Now we are going to test my hypothesis whether I am correct or not. So I consider, suppose four of students of you and just measure your height. Now this data whichever we collect from the sample, this data actually called observed data. Now this observed data and my hypothetical data is there any different or not? This is actually we are going to test, and it is our research phase. Now whatever a model we built here, and here we are going to test whether my model is correct or not. So this is our actually observe for relevant to the hypothesis, and accordingly we have to prepare a model. After that, in research part, our next thing is that first is our observe and data collection part in research phase. Second one is that we have to propose some hypothesis. Accordingly, whether my hypothesis is correct or not, we have to go for the data analysis, data collection regarding the some considering some decision variables. After considering these decision variables, third part is our analysis the available information and whether my hypothesis is correct or not correct. This is actually tested in that part. Actually, hypothesis or research part in that part. So this is the one thing we are. This is whatever we are going testing the hypothesis whether model is correct or not. This is part, and last part is the prediction. That is whatever we data is collection from the sample and giving the conclusion on over the population. That is, we are collecting the data from sample and giving that my model is correct or not, and giving and generalization result is given to the and conclusion is drawn for the population. So this is in research part. Whatever is done here now, this we are considering formulation part is there in that part. Our research part now, uh, on the base of the research part, we are going for the planning and action problem. So different policies, accordingly, different policies are introduced in this part by the on the research, on the base of the research part. And this is the main thing. Now we are going to taking the plan how to show what is our result, and this is our planning and action part we are introducing here. So this is the thing regarding the different phases. So it may be come in your exam also on very much in different phases. You have to explain in your exam what are the different phases in operation research and explain. Maybe it comes for the 8 months or 7 months regarding decision part. So always remember there's a three period. This decision part or judgment phase. This is our research part, and third phase is our planning and action part on depend on the research. So this is the actual one cycle we are introducing here. Now this is our main part. So what are the different scope and applications? This is the one important thing. So in this class we are basically scope means when we discuss the operation research always deals with the maximization problems, maximum or minimization problem. Okay. And generalization, we are talking about the optimization problem. Optimization means we have some objective function and we have to maximize or minimize the objective function as per the situation and considering some decision variables, and accordingly we formulate our problem. After that, we are going for the decide which is actually good. So as per this, different models are introduced. So what are the different scope are there? There is a optimal inventory costs are there regarding this. Another is optimal designing of a control system. That is a organization has a control system how to design with the optimal situation, optimal planning and scheduling and controlling. These are the basically in industries are basically we are using this thing in the field of industrial management. You just operations part when you go for the operations part. In that case, we are introducing this thing. Next is our optimal designing of chemical processing and equipment plants. So this is optimal designing and chemical processing. This is the engineering students are using this part actually chemical processing, how to process with the minimum resources available to them. And another is optimal selection of a new site of in industry. And these are the different scope we are introducing. Next, this is the pipeline networks for the process of industries. Optimal mean maximization problem, maximum or minimize optimal designing of pipeline networks for the industries. Optimal designing of computer structure at minimum cost. Optimal designing of the plastic structure. Optimal planning to explain the maximum profit. The presence of one or more competitors are there. How to gain the maximum profit. This is actually part of a game theory or management. These are the actually different models. Models are there. Accordingly, we learn it next classes for introducing this thing. And this is the things we are. This is the part of the introduction to operation research we are introducing here basically. So these are the different thing we are introducing. Any questions regarding this? Up to this? Hello? Hello?
No, sir.
So this is the very first beginning of the introductory part, and I give one book. Have you heard it? Got it from our last class?
No, sir.
One link has actually already sent, and some of you just downloaded it from my Google Drive, and I just give it to the students also. You just collect it, the book, ebook. Okay, by Operations Research, introduction by Hira. This is the book. Okay. Hello. So,
Okay,
any
sir.
questions? Any questions? Any questions are there regarding the introduction to operation research?
No, sir. Not till now.
Yes.
No. No question.
Okay. So, next class we are introducing the next class we are discussing LPP. Okay. Hello.
Sir.
Okay, sir.
LPP we are discussing just check your book, and accordingly we are doing this thing. Just read it. You know the graph. You know the graph how to draw x-axis and y-axis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then no problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so up to this we just finish our classes here. Today
Sir, বুকৰ নামটো এবাৰ গ্ৰুপত দি দিবচোন।
already I give the link and you just downloaded it from there. Already given
Oh,
the
oh,
book. Some of you also downloaded. You just ask your friends. Okay, again I am giving this thing. It is my Google.
oh. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Please resend the link.
বসুন
Yes, sir.
কাইলে
Thank you, sir.
okay.
সিলেবাস স্যার
Syllabus. Hello.
Yes, sir. Syllabus.
Next class we are discussing the syllabus, but today we are discussing on the first part. Okay, first part of our class, introduction
হ'ব
to.
দিয়ক নেক্সট ক্লাছ দিলে হ'ব ছাৰ।
Okay, actually
Okay,
mathematics,
sir.
it is the mathematics, so some of you just go for the basic concept. When classes actually in the we are going to teach class, এটা mathematics খিনি আমি ভাল কৰি কৰিম. Okay,
ঠিক আছে ছাৰ, হ'ব দিয়ক।
মানে without mathematics, without board and paper, তোমালোকে নিজে নকৰিলে বস্তু ক্লিয়াৰ নহ'ব তোমালোকৰ। বুজি পাইছানে?
হয় ছাৰ, এনেও মেথছটো টান লাগে।
সেইটো এতিয়া এতিয়া শ্লাইডত বুজোৱাটো আৰু নিজে কৰাটোৰ মাজত ডিফাৰেঞ্চ আছে। অ'কে, ঠিক
হয়
আছে
স্যাৰ
দিয়া। ওকে।
হয় স্যাৰ হ'ব দিয়ক